All right, hey class, let's go ahead and start our next book of this text set about Duncan Tonatiuh, our illustrator. Our next book, uh-oh, our next book in the set is Pancho Rabbit and the Coyote. This is a migrant's tale. It says it right here, migrant's tale. Do any of your parents or family members travel long distances to work or spend days and weeks away from home? I know a few of you who have parents who travel for work. So um, there are many reasons for this, many reasons for having to travel far away for work. So today I'm going to read another book by Duncan Tonatiuh called Pancho Rabbit and the Coyote. Um, this story is a fable with animal characters, but it's also an allegory, which means it has a hidden meaning. So I want you to try to focus on finding out what that meaning is. Okay, so that's your job while I'm reading the story. What's the meaning of the story? So the first sentence of the author's note gives us a clue about the double meaning. It says, Coyote is the name of an animal, but it's also slang for a person who smuggles people across the US border. Okay, so it says in Spanish, the word coyote has two meanings. It is the name of an animal, but also slang for the person who smuggles people across the US and Mexican border. Okay, so when you hear the word coyote, remember it has two meanings. Um, let's go ahead and get started. Pancho Rabbit and the Coyote, A Migrant's Tale by Duncan Tonatiuh. One spring rains, one spring, sorry you guys. It says, one spring the rains did not come and the crops could not grow. So Papa Rabbit, Senor Rooster, Senor Ram, and the other animals from the rancho set out north to find work in the great carrot and lettuce fields. There they would earn money for their families. Many harvests went by, and it was finally time for Papa Rabbit to return home. His family was preparing his big fiesta. Everyone on the rancho was excited to see him, especially Pancho Rabbit, his eldest son. I heard Mama telling Senora Duck that Papa saved enough money in El Norte so that he won't ever have to leave us again. Papa told his brother and sisters. They were helping Mama cook Papa his favorite meal, mole, rice and beans, a heap of warm tortillas, and a jug full of fresh aguamil. How does Pancho feel about his father having gone away? How do you know? I think regardless of the kid, I know that if your parents have to go away, you automatically miss them like so much, right? Yeah. The musicians arrived and began to tune their instruments while Pancho and his sister hung papel picado to decorate the patio. The rabbit's friends from the rancho began to arrive. They listened to the música, they ate some mole, and they waited and waited, but Papa Rabbit did not appear. He must have had a late start, said Mamma Rabbit. Maybe the weather was bad and he had to find shelter, said Pancho's youngest sister. They waited some more, but still Papa Rabbit was not to be seen. When it was dark, the musicians and the guests said their goodbyes and headed home. Your papa will certainly arrive by morning, Senora Duck told Pancho and his family. After waiting and worrying long into the night, the rabbit family finally went to bed, except for Pancho. I have to find my father, he thought. He packed Papa's favorite meal, mole, rice, and beans, a heap of still warm tortillas, and a jug full of fresh aguamil. He placed it in a mochila to carry on his back and headed out. Pancho followed the stars north. After walking a while, he met a coyote. Good evening, little rabbit. Where are you going? Good evening, Senor Coyote. I'm going north to meet my papa, who has been working in the carrot and lettuce fields, replied Pancho. It'll take you days and days to get there on this trail, replied the coyote. I can show you a shortcut. That is, if you give me the sweet and spicy mole you have. I smelled it a mile away. Pancho did not wish to give his father's mole away, but he missed him terribly. As long as it gets me closer to Papa, he said, and he let the coyote have it. I want you to think, what is your opinion of the coyote and whether you think Pancho should accept his help? Should he give him the food and accept his help, or should he just say no thank you and move on his way? What do you think? The coyote led Pancho to the train tracks. As the sun rose, he showed Pancho how to jump onto a passing car. The train was running so fast, poor Pancho almost fell off. They rode atop the train, zooming through the countryside. When the train slowed for a curve, Pancho and the coyote leaped off. We must now cross the river, said the coyote. Senor Coyote, I don't know how to swim, said Pancho. The water was murky and rushed by very fast. He was scared. I can help you reach the other side, said the coyote, but it will be exhausting after I do. But I will be exhausted after I do. Once we are across, I will need to eat the rice and beans you are carrying to regain my strength. Fine, said Pancho, as long as it gets me closer to Papa. The coyote picked up a tire that was junked on the riverbank. Pancho gathered all of his courage and held on tight. Splash! They jumped into the river. The coyote helped him float to the far bank. And although he did not want to, Pancho gave the coyote the rice and beans, just as he'd promised. The sun was high in the sky now. Pancho and the coyote walked on and soon reached a very tall fence that separated the south from the north. It was impossible to jump or climb over. There was a tunnel There is a tunnel we can use, said the coyote, but the snakes watch it. If you give them the tortillas you are carrying, I'm sure they will let us through. As long as it gets me closer to Papa, Pancho said and sighed. The coyote talked to the snakes. They agreed to let them pass, but demanded every single one of Pancho's tortillas. Pancho and the coyote entered the tunnel. It was dark, narrow, and very long. I want you to notice here. So think about the double meaning in this fable or of this fable. Whom do you think the snakes with their caps represent? Look at them. They have caps on. Who do you think they represent in this story? Because remember, these are animals and this is not, this couldn't have really happened, but the snakes could represent someone in real life. Who do you think they represent? Who's usually at a border? Think about that. All right. So when they emerged, Pancho and the Coyote were on the north side of the fence. They were in El Norte. The afternoon sun beat down on them, and there was no shade. The Coyote pointed to a hut in the distance. There's a hut way over there. See it? A hut in the distance. We can spend the night there, he said. In the morning, I will take you to the great carrot and lettuce fields, and there you will find your papa. Pancho and the coyote walked under the desert sun. Poor Pancho's feet ached. Give me some of that aguamil you have, little rabbit, said the coyote. I feel dizzy. If I don't drink something, I will collapse, and we will never get there. Pancho gave the coyote some aguamil. The sand and air were scorching hot, and Pancho felt dizzy. He was very thirsty, and he drank the remainder. As long as it gets me closer to Papa, repeated Pancho to himself in a daze. I want you to notice the colors in this illustration. Um, do they help you feel the heat of the desert? I know for me, when I turn to this page compared to all the other pages, I could most definitely feel that this is like a hot scenery here. Um, so I wonder if you feel the same thing. Um, what do you think about the coyote now in the story? I wonder if your thoughts about him have changed. When Pancho and Coyote reached the hut, it was dark. The Coyote built a small fire for light and warmth because at night the desert is freezing cold. I am so hungry after all the walking, said the Coyote. Do you have any more mole, like Little Rabbit? No, Senor Coyote, you ate it all. Any more rice and beans? No, Senor Coyote, you ate them all. Any more tortillas? No, Senor Coyote, the snakes ate them all. There is nothing left, not even a drop of aguamil. In that case, said the Coyote, I will roast you in the fire and eat you. Oh my gosh. I feel like at this point he was just using him so that he could eat his food. What do you think? Was he really trying to help him? Huh. With a cry, Pancho leaped for the door. He was the fastest animal back on the rancho, and normally he would outrun the coyote, but he was tired from the long journey. He could not reach the door. He could not reach the window. All he could do was huddle in the corner as the coyote slowly approached. Why do you think the artist decided to show just the coyote's shadow on this page? So we don't actually see the coyote. Why would we just see the shadow? All right, let's find out what else happens. Suddenly, the door was thrown open. Who entered but Papa Rabbit with Senor Ram and Senor Rooster? They soon had the coyote racing outdoors and far away with his tail between his legs. Panchito, mijo, said Papa Rabbit, and he gave Pancho a hug. I thought I would never see you again. A gang of crows attacked us, said Senor Rooster. They took the money and gifts we were bringing back to our family and left us stranded in the desert. We heard your cries for help, said Senor Ram. Your papa recognized your voice. We ran to you as fast as we could. Papa, said Pancho, I'm so happy to find you, and I know the way home. So Pancho led Papa Rabbit, Señor Rooster, and Señor Ram home. When they arrived, there was a big fiesta. There was mole, rice, and beans, and warm tortillas, fresh aguamil, and música for everyone on the rancho. Pancho told his brothers and sisters about all of the dangers he and Papa had faced. Please don't leave us again, said the rabbit children. We were so worried for you. I don't want to leave you, said Papa Rabbit, but the crows took all our money. If it doesn't rain enough again this year, and if there is no food or work here on the rancho, what else am I to do? I will have to leave again. And I will come with you, said Pancho. We will all go with you, said Pancho's brothers and sisters. Let's hope it rains, said Mama. So Pancho's brothers and sisters heard how dangerous it is to cross the border, um, yet they still want to go with Papa next time. Why do you think that is? Any ideas why Mama didn't say she would go? Hmm, that's pretty interesting. It's a very thought-provoking question there. All right, that is the end of our story, you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for focusing on our illustrator this week. Don't forget to do your one question assignment in Google Classroom. All right, guys, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye.